Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Definition, and this is the channel where we break down all of the latest movies, new game releases, TV shows and comic books. For episode 3 of Crisis on Infinite Earths, it's Better the Devil You Know, as we watch our heroes go through hell in order to get Oliver's soul back. There's a ton of Easter eggs, big moments and a huge cliffhanger that we'll be breaking down throughout this video, just in case you missed anything. Now obviously there's going to be heavy spoilers here, so if you haven't had a chance to watch the episode yet and don't want to know what happens, then I highly recommend that you turn off now. With that out of the way, I just want to give a huge thank you for clicking this video. Now let's get into our breakdown of Crisis on Infinite Earths episode 3. Okay everyone, so before we get into the latest episode, we just kinda need to recap the last entry of Black Lightning that aired yesterday. Though this wasn't initially confirmed as part of the Crisis lineup, we do know for definite now that the character is included and he features in this episode at quite a big moment. Lightning was brought across the multiverse in the closing scene of his own show yesterday after his Earth was destroyed, and he joins the team in this entry helping out during one of the major Flash scenes. So yeah, just a little side note there in case there was any confusion as to why he's here for a couple of minutes. I haven't done a breakdown of that episode, so I just thought I'd add it in at the start of this one. Now Crisis episode 3 opens in New Gotham on Earth 203 with Huntress on the run from the Red Wave of Death. This is the same continuity as the short-lived DC TV show Birds of Prey, and before we even get to say hello to the characters, the universe is wiped out in an instant. We then travel to Earth 1, namely the Waverider, where the Flash arrives with Cisco and the rest of the team in order to fix Palmer's Paragon Finder. Earth 1 is sort of becoming the main evacuation point of the multiverse, and time is running out for the heroes to save the existence of all realities. Luckily, they discover the other remaining Paragons, which are made up of Martian Manhunter, the Flash, and a guy named Ryan Choi, a physics professor. Ryan is just the paragon of humanity, and this is why he's just a regular guy. Now, the group set out to meet him, and when they do, he does the classic line, you know, the one where a scientist meets another scientist and says, "Your paper on that overly long science word changed my blah blah blah." Like, you know the line, Iron Man did it in Avengers, remember? Yeah, well they do it here, just not as well. Choi takes some convincing from Iris to leave his family, as the newly introduced character is afraid of what could come, but eventually she manages to make him see the bigger picture. He joins the team, and it's going to be kind of interesting to see what he actually brings to the table, as for the most part he seems pretty useless. I don't know, maybe he can assemble IKEA furniture really well? Maybe he's a great actor, maybe not. Look, I don't know what the Paragon of Humanity can do, but yeah, it's nice that they have a little wild card amongst their ranks. Elsewhere on the Waverider, Diggle discovers that Oliver died during the initial episode and that the group tried to revive him to no avail. This sends them on a quest to travel to Purgatory in order to try and bring Ollie's soul back to his body, and along with Sarah, Mia and Constantine they go to Earth 666 and run into none other than Lucifer, played by Tom Ellis. It's great seeing the character back, even if his appearance is really short-lived, and similar to Oliver, Lucifer has been killed off, well, cancelled a couple of times now, so it's nice that he was at least included in this plot that's centered around resurrection and revival. However, as with the first 2 episodes, the character doesn't really get much room to breathe, and once more I think Crisis suffers from an extremely fast pace that has many moments just rushing by before you can even catch your breath. To me, it just feels like there's too much going on at once, and it makes it difficult to really invest in any of the scenes because of how fast they whiz past. Personally, I feel like before you start to engage with what's going on, you're already off to the next moment, and yeah, I just wish they'd given the creative team more space when developing this storyline. I got some flack yesterday for criticising the Tom Welling cameo, so I'm just going to kind of discuss that more, as I think it paints out a lot of my feelings towards this episode as well. So when it came to Tom Welling, I felt like the entire time he was there, they just stood him in one spot and had some characters walk up to him, then walk off, then have other characters walk up to him and disappear. There wasn't really much dynamism to his cameo, whereas Conroy got a lot more to play with. Lucifer kind of falls victim to the same thing that Welling did, but he did at least have a purpose, whereas Welling's appearance didn't really help the plot. Anyway, that's just my 2 pennies on the cameos overall, so if you disagree with me, then make sure you let me know. With the help of Lucifer, the group find a way to travel to Purgatory through the use of a magic card that also sets a time limit for them. Purgatory looks exactly like Lian Yu. That's not some Chinese woman called Lian, by the way. That's a real place. And his lip service paid to the fact that souls choose their own personal hells, and as the island is tied so heavily to Oliver's life, he has returned there. Just before the transference of Oliver's soul into his body, Jim Corrigan appears, who, as many of you will know, was the Spectre in the comic books. He convinces Oliver to take up the mantle of the character, which, if you've been keeping up to date with the channel, was a big prediction that we made in the first episode. I'm not patting myself on the back with that anyway, I'm not special, it was just kind of obvious. The Spectre, of course, is a huge part of the original Crisis on Infinite Earths graphic novel, and he will no doubt be instrumental in taking down the Anti-Monitor. In the book, the Anti-Monitor is initially defeated by the heroes, and thus he decides to travel back in time to the creation of the multiverse in order to destroy it before it's even created. The Spectre is the one that warns the heroes of this, and he's also the character that allows them to travel back to the initial moment in order to stop the villain from succeeding in his plan. Here I think the Spectre will play an even more prominent role and be the one that takes the character down completely. As the Anti-Monitor grows in strength, the Monitor loses his, and thus we need a high-powered being in order to fight the Anti-Monitor on a level playing field. Cara and Kate confront Lex over the Book of Destiny's powers, with the former wishing to use it to save her Earth and all of the other realities that have been destroyed. Kate isn't too happy with it, and we keep seeing her look at a kryptonite like the screenshots you have of your mate's WhatsApp messages, just in case they ever decide to make you look stupid on Twitter. I do think that they will end up reviving the doomed Earths through this method, but it will come at the cost of their friendship, as the two will likely go head to head over the matter. Either way, there's going to be a million porn parodies made from this episode, because man, that stand-up, it was hot. Kate tries to give Cara the kryptonite, but she refuses it, saying she should keep it just in case. It looks like Supergirl isn't going to revive the universes just yet, but yeah, how else are they going to film all of the new seasons of Titan, Black Lightning, and so on? Elsewhere in the episode, Cisco and Killer Frost manage to track down the source of the wave of destruction ripping across the multiverse, which is located in Central City on Earth 1. When investigating it, they come face to face with the Pariah, a man cursed to travel throughout the multiverse to witness tragedy after freeing the Anti-Monitor. Cisco, reinstated with his vibe powers, is able to pull memories from the Pariah, and through this they gain access to the Anti-Monitor's hidden lair. Joined by Barry, they find the Flash from Earth 90, played by none other than John Wesley Shipp. The Flash has been trapped inside a treadmill which is being used to generate power for the antimatter cannon that is currently tearing across all realities. They manage to free the Earth 90 version, but he reveals that the Anti-Monitor put a failsafe in that will send out a giant wave destroying everything if he stops powering the device. I don't know why he didn't just send that out anyway, as he was supposed to want to destroy the multiverse, but maybe his heart's just not in it. It's a bit like this breakdown. The Pariah disappears but returns with Black Lightning, who attempts to absorb the reaction. Unfortunately, he fails to contain it, and this calls for desperate measures. This is where the big callback to the comics comes in, and it looks like it will be the apparent death of Barry Allen, who says that he's willing to take the place on the treadmill. However, in the last second, Earth 90's Flash absorbs Barry's speed force, which makes him collapse, and this allows the Elder to take his place as the Flash that dies during the crisis. He ends up running into nothing and destroys the cannon, thus stopping the wave. Now, this is a plot moment that we've been waiting for since pretty much episode 1 of the original season of The Flash, and I was always kinda hoping that Barry would be the one to do it. However, I wasn't too annoyed by this change up. I can see a lot of people rolling their eyes at it though, as this was a last minute save that didn't really feel that earned, especially for all of the setup that we've had over the years. It does mean that the Flash can live to fight another day though, and perhaps Oliver's sacrifice did in turn actually save Barry, as was part of his deal with the Monitor. Obviously let me know your thoughts on that moment, as I can see opinions being split on it, but Shipp got his moment at least, and there was even a callback to his original show in the 90s. Transported away by Vibe, the group returned to the Waverider and learn that almost every reality has been wiped out. Barry and Jefferson have a heart-to-heart, and the group become desperate to find the Harbinger. Instantly, she appears and begins attacking the heroes. They try to fight back, but she easily bests them, making them do that scene in Friends where Ross tried to hide in the bedroom. It's revealed that she's actually being controlled by the Anti-Monitor and has been sent there to destroy them, but luckily the Monitor is there to fight back. The Monitor sacrifices himself to buy them time, but the Anti-Monitor still succeeds and destroys the entire reality. There's lip service paid to the Anti-Monitor's real name, which is Mobius, and it makes for a nice way to end the episode. So luckily, before the destruction of the ship, the Pariah teleports the remaining Paragons to another reality that hasn't been destroyed yet. Diggle, Superman, Iris and the rest get dusted, but the group find themselves at the Vanishing Point, a location outside of space and time that is safe from the reaches of the Anti-Monitor. In this reality, Superman is torn apart and replaced with Lex Luthor, who used the Book of Destiny to transport himself there. Lex has made himself a Paragon and is now looking like their only way out. The Monitor may have bought them slightly more time, but time is running out and it looks like we're going to have to wait until January to find out what happens next. Now, as mentioned earlier when we discussed the comics, from the preview it looks like the Anti-Monitor is travelling to the dawn of time in order to destroy everything. Guided by the Spectre, aka Oliver Queen, the group will likely go there and tackle him face to face. How Lex plays into it we don't know yet, but Alexander Luthor was actually a huge reason that the heroes managed to defeat the Anti-Monitor in the source material, and though he's vastly different to this universe's version, I do think he will play a more vital role going forward. Now obviously I'd love to hear your thoughts on the crossover and what you want to see in the next episode. Comment below and let me know, and if you enjoyed this video then please give it a thumbs up and make sure you check out our breakdowns and recap of yesterday's entry, which will be linked at the end. We go over everything you need to know about it and give our theories for the future, so it's definitely worth checking out if you want to know more. If you want to come chat to me after the video then make sure you follow me on Twitter at DefinitionYT, or head over to my Discord server, which will be linked in the description below. We drop videos on there early, so if you want to see stuff before anyone else then that's the best place to be. It's free to join and we have an awesome community, so hopefully I see you over there very soon. We're also giving away a free copy of the Marvel Phase 3 Part 2 box set on Blu-ray, which contains Black Panther, Infinity War, Endgame, Captain Marvel and more, and all you have to do to be in with a chance of winning is like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave your thoughts on Crisis in the comment section below. The winner's going to be chosen on the 15th of December and the set will be shipped out from then to whoever gets the prize, so best of luck to everyone who takes part. This is a channel for people who are super into superheroes, so if that's the kind of thing you like, hit subscribe. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. I've been Definition, you've been the best, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.